Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations with another card project for you in the 2016 holiday card series. And we are going to be using the Hang Your Stockings set today. Let me zoom out just a little bit. You'd think that this would be a set that we're going to be doing the stockings, but we're actually not. We're going to be using the holly in this for this card. Now we will be using this as for another card in the series, and we will be using the stockings, but this one we are not. So let's go ahead and get started. There's quite a bit of stamping for this card. Our card base is a piece of real red, which is cut at 8.5 by 4 1/4, and it is scored at 4 1/4 to make a 4 1/4 square card. We have a piece of designer series paper. This is the Pine Cones and Presents, or Presents and Pine Cones designer series paper. And that's going to layer right on top, and that is cut at 4 by 4. And then we have a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 3.5 by 3.5. Is that right? That was 3.5 by 3.5. And then I have a strip of, another strip of Whisper White, which is actually 1 inch wide, and that is also by 3.5, and we're gonna pin at the ends on that. So you would also want a 4 by 4 piece for the inside. Now this paper actually, the red in here is actually cherry cobbler, but there's so little of it that actually shows, and I wanted to use real red that I didn't feel like it really distracted from it. But if that is a problem for you, then switch out the real red for cherry cobbler. Okay, so we're going to take our 3.5 by 3.5 inch square of Whisper White, and I went ahead and I punched out, this is 1 1/4, I believe. It doesn't really matter what size, as long as it fits. This is actually a 2 inch circle, sorry about that. So it's a 2 inch circle that I'm just going to kind of eyeball and put in the middle. You really don't want it to be any bigger than 2 inches because we're building a wreath. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly pencil around this circle just to give me an overall shape. And most of the stamping is actually going to cover over that line, but anything that doesn't get covered up, I will go back in and I'll erase it after we stamp. I'm going to use some Emerald Envy, and again, I'm actually pulling from the paper because this one has Emerald Envy and the Mint Macaron. And the Mint Macaron was just a little too light because I want to do a couple generations stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Emerald Envy, and we're going to use the little holly in this set. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to just stamp on my little circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to stamp on it, and then I'm going to just move over, stamp, and I'm going to stamp 3 times. So you're going to stamp full strength, and then you're going to move to either side and do your second and third generation stamping. Okay, so I'm just going to scooch around. And I'm just going to continue around the circle. And I will speed this up so that you don't have to sit and watch. Now what I want to I'm going to go in now with the real red, and I'm going to stamp the tiny little berries. It's the 3 little berries. You're just going to place them around. Okay, so I just put 5 on there. It's small enough that that's good. Oh, I also need to stamp my sentiment. So while we've got this out, we'll go ahead and stamp our sentiment. Of course, I've got ink all over my hands. So on our 1-inch strip here, I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle. Try and get over this here. Okay. It's actually pretty close to being in the middle. It's not perfect. And then I'm going to take my triple banner punch, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I just want to pull off just a little bit. I'll do the other side. And then you can just kind of keep playing with it until you get, I'm going to take a little bit off the other side here. Okay, that's good. All right, now before I attach that, I've got some other things I'm going to do here. Get that out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and attach my designer series paper to my card front. Okay, and now I'm going to take this piece, this layer, and I'm going to add that. And I did make quite a mess with this ink. Okay. Now, I'm going to add some gold sequins. Got a little pile of sequins here, and I'm going to get my tweezers so that they're a little easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fine tip glue, and I'm going to just kind of put a little dab of glue in random spots. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my sequins, and I'm just going to lay them right on top. You just have to remember where you actually put your dollops of glue. And depending on the sequin pack that you have, you might have some small sequins, some big sequins. You certainly can use different colors. I'm going for gold. This pack I have also has white in them, but I don't want white on here. Okay, one over here, and then I have one more. I can get this last sequin. Okay. Just this one right over here. Okay, so now I've got my sequins down. I'm going to take my little sentiment strip. I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. I'm actually going to do just 2 in the middle here. And that one sequin right there, you can't even see now. Okay, I'm going to put that right in there, and voila! There is our finished card project. I hope that you like that one. It can be pretty quick and easy, and I think it's just fun to do the continuous or the second generation stamping, and kind of make things out of, take something that's meant to go one way and make something completely different out of it. So I hope that you liked today's card project. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Leave me a comment and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.